Welcome back. So in the previous lab we have provisioned the lab environment using the JSON files, and in this lab we'll be configuring the hub and spoke network topology. So we have deployed the template here, and the next task would be to install the network watcher. For that we have to use the following command according to the lab. So let's wait for this to install this. And if we talk about the network watcher, so it provides you the ability to diagnose the most common VPN gateways and connection issues. And the three features of this network watcher according to the docs are: the first one is automatic remote network monitoring with packet capture, and the second one would be gaining insights into your network traffic using the flow logs, and the third one would be diagnose VPN connectivity issue. So these are the three features of it. And so it takes like 3 to 4 minutes. So meanwhile, let's go to the configuration of hub and spoke. So if I refresh, everything is done probably. Yeah. So if I go back, now let's go to the virtual networks, and in which we'll be selecting the two. So you can see a virtual network 2, click that. So basically virtual network 2 is nothing but this one, which is a spoke, and these are hubs. These are hubs, which is in the dark. These are hubs. So these three are hubs, and these are spokes. The spokes. And so now we are dealing with the virtual network 2. So if we go back here to virtual network 2 under properties, so yeah, there you go. Click the properties and record the resource ID. So this is the resource ID. It's group resource, but where is resource ID? There you go. Click that, and I'll just make note of it. So it's done. The next one would be, we'll be going to the virtual network 3, and similarly we'll be copying the VNet 3 resource ID. For that, let's go back to the same resource group that we have created before, and you can see there is a virtual network 3. Click that. And similarly, if you go to the properties under settings, so you have a resource ID. So we have, you can see the different names, the name, the location in which this virtual network is deployed, and the resource group in which it is, the subscription ID, the resource ID, as well as the group ID. So now let's copy the resource ID, and let me save it in my notepad. So it's VNet 3 done. So now it's done. So the next one, so the next one would be go to the virtual network 1, which is the last spoke. So if I go back here, overview, not overview, go to the resource group, and here coming to VNet 1, which is the first one, click that. So basically we have copied the resource IDs of 2 and 3. Now we are dealing with this one, and we'll be using for peer connection. So meanwhile, let's check this. There you go. So it has been completed. The network watcher has been deployed properly. So yeah, if I go back to the virtual network 1, so under settings we have an option called peering, where it is. Yeah, there you go. So now we don't have any, but let's add. So if you go back to the architecture, you can see there is a link between virtual network and 1, which we are creating this. So similarly for these two. So you can see the dark lines here. So it's a peering connection where we are trying to connect so that these two can communicate, these two virtual networks can communicate with each other. So for that, let's add the virtual network name. So according to the docs, let me add that. So 1 to 2 connection, and the next one would be allow, and this one would be box originates from the outside the network, and the next would be the default one. And coming to the remote, so this is we are configuring in 0 1. So the remote would be like it's connected to 2. So now we'll be connecting from 2 to 1. So we have to add that name here to have a proper reference. So resource manager, and coming to resource, I know my resource ID. Yes, I do. That we have copied before. So if I paste it, let me copy that from here and paste the resource ID. So it is done. And the next one would be this one is allow, and this is the default one. So yes, we are, let me confirm by checking the doc. So yeah, so this particular steps establish two local peering, one from VNet 1 to VNet 2 and 2 to 1. So let me add this. So we have two different coming, so we'll be having the record in number 2 as well. So there is a note which says that we have to allow the forward traffic needs to be enabled in order to facilitate routing between spoke virtual networks. So we'll be in the next few labs we'll be allowing the forward traffic. So I guess it's done. So VNet 1 is done. If I go back here, if I check VNet 2 peering, so you can see there is a record here too. So it has been created. So now the connection is vice versa. So coming to the next one, let's go to the VM1 again. So I just wanted to check whether the records have been created properly or not. So if I go back here, and if I go back here from the VNet 1, and under VNet 1 we'll be checking the peer. Where is peer connection? Yeah, there we go. So we have added 0 to 1, sorry, I mean 0 1 to 2. The next one would be 0 1 to 3. If I go here, so you can see this particular connection has been established. So this is from VNet 1 to this is VNet 2. So this particular connection has been established, and now we have to connect these two. So it's VNet 01 to VNet 3. So that is what we have to do. Similarly, we have to add another one, and let me paste that, and it's the block none. And coming to the remote network name, it's this one. And the resource manager, yes, I do know my ID. So let me paste that ID which we have copied in previous few seconds ago. So let's add that one. It says your resource identity has been changed to why there was an issue. Okay, so if I click here, so VNet 3 can deploy model you have chosen in the resource group. Why was there an error? So I'm just checking it. Virtual networks VNet 3. Traffic needs to be enabled in order to facilitate. So if I go back here, let me copy that once again. I'm not sure why I have got an error. So if I go to the resource groups, and if I so where is that? Number 3, properties, society. Okay, now it's done. I'm not sure, maybe because of some space or not, I'm not sure. So however, now it has to, okay, but let's check other connections. Default, yeah, so everything is default, and click add. So meanwhile it's being created, and from 1 there is connection 3 as well, so we have to check in the VNet 3 whether there is connection to 1. So if I go back here, if I go back to VNet 3, so here if I go back to the peering, refresh, there you go. So even it has been created record here. So we have configured successfully. So we have configured hub and spoke network topology, and we have included the peering concept in this. So the next would be testing the transitivity of virtual network peering. So I hope you guys have understood the concept of today's video. So before that, I think I have not told you the definition of hub virtual network and spoke virtual network. So let me tell you that before completing the video. So coming to the hub virtual network, the hub virtual network is a central point of connectivity to your on-premises network. So right now we are dealing with the virtual networks. So again, it's a place to host services that can be consumed by different workloads hosted in the spoke virtual network. So that is the definition of hub, which is the main one. So the dark one is the hub, in which we have the load balancer and application gateway and so on. Coming to the spoke virtual networks, the spoke virtual networks are used to isolate workloads in their own virtual networks, as we are seeing in this diagram. So they are managed separately from other spokes, and each workload might include multiple tiers, so with multiple subnets connected through Azure load balancer. So that is what it is. And yeah, so coming to the final note, I hope you guys have understood the concept. If you have liked the video, please click like below, and if you're not subscribed to my channel, please do subscribe to my channel. And if you have any comments, please do in the comment section, and please share the video. Thank you everyone.